Luxury brands you only know if you're rich. And no, I'm not talking about Gucci or Louis Vuitton. I'm talking about the brands that never go on sale, don't flaunt logos, and are only whispered about in the right circles. If you know them, you know. If you don't, you're not supposed to. This is the world of ultra luxury. Not influencer luxury, not TikTok luxury, real generational wealth luxury. Brands that exist in the blind spots of social media but dominate in the closets of people with old money, royal connections, or family offices. So what are these brands? And why do the wealthiest people in the world wear them without ever needing to tag them? Let's start with Loro Piana. If Quietluxury had a spokesperson, this would be it. You've seen the baseball caps for €400, the cashmere shirts that cost more than rent. But what you haven't seen is the deeper psychology behind it. Loro Piana doesn't just sell fabric, it sells invisibility. When you're really rich, you don't need to be seen, and you definitely don't need to prove it. Every piece is designed to blend in with wealthier environments. Aspen, Geneva, Cortina, or a quiet restaurant in Milan with no menu and no Instagram page. Then there's Zilly. Ever heard of it? Probably not, and that's exactly the point. Zilly is the go-to for ultra-wealthy men in Monaco, Dubai, and private members clubs across Europe. They specialize in luxury leather jackets handmade in Lyon, with details so subtle most people would walk past them. But a €15,000 jacket with an alligator collar, it says everything to those who know. Let's talk Keaton. This is the suit brand of billionaires, diplomats, and the kind of men who've worn the same style for 30 years because they never needed trends to feel powerful. Keaton is custom, hand-finished, and quiet. No flash, just excellence. When you see someone in Keaton, you're not supposed to recognize it. You're just supposed to feel the difference. And now, the women. Let's talk Brunello Cucinelli. You may have seen the name, but what you might not realize is the lifestyle it represents. Cucinelli doesn't just design clothes. He sells a way of being, serene, grounded, intellectually wealthy. His brand philosophy is rooted in ethics, slowness, and beauty, the opposite of a mass consumerism. This is who you wear when you want to look expensive, but not fashionable in a trend-following way. Rich people don't follow trends, they wear heritage. And then there's Boglioli, The Row, Jill Sander, brands where tailoring is everything, logos are non-existent, and pricing is simply a barrier to entry. These are the brands that don't need influencers. In fact, if you're posting them, you're probably not the target customer. So what does all of this say about fashion in 2025? We're living in a time of quiet rebellion. Quiet luxury isn't just a trend anymore, it's a philosophy. It's the fashion world's silent scream against hype culture, dupe culture, and overconsumption. And yet, we're also watching a fascinating contradiction emerge. People are mixing quiet luxury with flamboyant pieces from Pucci, Dolce & Gabbana, Blue Marine, and more. Think a €6,000 cashmere Loro Piana coat over a printed Pucci dress. Why? Because in 2025, the new rich don't want to be boxed into a stereotype. They want to say, I have taste and personality. I can be quiet and bold. I don't follow the rules, I set them. And that's the real shift. The elite aren't dressing for recognition anymore. They're dressing for each other and for themselves. That's why you'll see a woman wear a Fendi dress from 2002, passed down by her mother, paired with a row coat and vintage Prada heels. It's coded, it's layered, it's storytelling without speaking. This is what wealth really looks like now. Less logos, more context, more emotion, more meaning. So if you're watching this wondering why you've never heard of half of these brands, that's not a flaw, that's the point. And if you're just discovering them now, welcome in. Just know, in this world, the loudest flex is saying nothing at all. Follow us on Instagram at GTWJMag for more fashion deep dives and exclusives. GTWJ, where fashion thinks deeper. Let's go even deeper, because knowing these brands isn't just about luxury, it's about understanding fashion as a language spoken fluently by those raised in proximity to wealth. The pieces may look simple, but every detail is deliberate, every stitch a statement. Take Celine under Phoebe Philo, for example. Not just a brand, a movement. The women who still wear it aren't doing so because it's trending. They wear it because it never had to. The rich don't chase hype, they keep archives. And when you see someone in a clean, structured Celine coat from 2014, you're not just looking at good taste, you're looking at someone who remembers when fashion was quiet, sharp, and smart. Now let's talk about Delvaux, the oldest luxury leather goods house in the world. Older than Hermes, quieter than Hermes, and arguably more exclusive. Their bags aren't made to go viral, they're made to last for decades and pass down. No flashy monograms, no artificial scarcity tactics, just heritage, craft, and understatement. That's what real wealth buys into, longevity over hype. Another name? Alaïa. This brand has never needed a logo. Its power is in the fit. When real rich women wear Alaïa, they do so because it molds to their bodies like sculpture, not because someone told them it's hot this season. Alaïa is the definition of timeless seduction, strong, sharp, and confident. A brand that doesn't ask for attention, it commands it. And don't forget Hermes, but not in the way TikTok shows it. The real Hermes is not the Birkin with the twilly and the plastic cover still on the hardware. It's the 20-year-old bag with patina, the scarf tied discreetly in someone's hair, the loafers worn in but not worn out, used, loved, and lived in. That's what signals real wealth. Not how shiny something looks, but how quietly it's worn. You see, rich people don't just buy brands, they buy codes. Codes only others within their world can read. That's why so many of these pieces look boring to outsiders. Because wealth doesn't need applause, it needs recognition from the right people. And now let's look at the psychological impact of these fashion choices. When someone wears Loro Piana or the Row, they're not dressing to attract attention, they're dressing to deflect it, to protect themselves in public spaces. Wealthy people are often targets, and fashion becomes a way to move undetected, while still signaling immense power to those who know how to see it. It's fashion as armor, fashion as privacy. And when they do decide to be seen, that's when the couture comes out. We're talking about Schiaparelli, Valentino Atelier, Chanel Haute Couture, pieces that are not available to the public and cost more than a car. These are worn once, photographed rarely, and kept in climate-controlled wardrobes. Because in the upper echelons of wealth, availability kills exclusivity. The beauty of this world is that you'll never fully get it from the outside. And that's why it fascinates people, because the mystery is the luxury. So what does this mean for fashion going forward? It means that if you want to understand where fashion is heading, stop looking at what's trending on TikTok. Start watching what's being worn off camera. The real luxury narrative of 2025 is being written in private planes, boardroom resorts, and members-only galleries. It's not loud, it's strategic. Fashion is no longer about dressing to impress. It's about dressing to belong. And only a few people are fluent in the language of true luxury. But here at GTWJ, we're decoding it. One brand, one look, one story at a time. Make sure you follow at GTWJ Mag on Instagram and for more stories like this, where we go deeper, sharper, and more honest than anyone else in fashion. GTWJ, where fashion thinks deeper.